I don't want to give, any credential, to whatever they are saying. It doesn't distract from the fact that, I was at the convention. I was invited properly, and have an honored guest, position. So, who are they that I have need to prove anything to them? I was there, and what's their business? Is that about the high unemployment in this country? Is that about lack of food on the tables and in the kitchen of the poor? Is that about electricity that they cannot even properly privatize, blackmailing the honorable minister and forcing somebody to resign because they want to turn it to family patrimony? Is that the cause of infrastructure that is lacking in this country? Is that shouldn't we even share knowledge, acquire knowledge, to really understand, what a nation needs?
How prepared are you for next month's election in Ondo State?
We are very, very prepared. The candidates working hard, the party is working very hard. All our structure are in place, and as long as the election is well monitored, policed, and controlled, we are very sure of victory.
The first batch is 25. How solid is the state financially to ensure that none of them will be abandoned?
We put our priority right. We first of all, we engineer our finances. It will be slow in gestation because people are not, naturally will not respond to new creative method of financing. But this is what, this is an innovation, and equally the standard of this building that we are bringing is another pace-setting program for those schools. The funding is not there to take everything in one go, but by managing a good cash management method, we are not going to hold nobody, and we are not going to abandon no project.
Your Excellency, sir, a project like this has to be sustained by teachers who can actually face the challenge. Do you plan to train your teachers to make them use standard education approach?
We will continue to upgrade the teacher training program. Equally, we are going to hire more teachers. Okay? Those who are on temporary appointment will be converted to have job security. This is part of the government program. Put the teacher and the people first. Equally, we will have training the trainers program in information technology.
Kemi Badenoch, of course, will hit.
So Kemi Badenoch.
Study the anthropology of it.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we? No. Political power is not going to be served in a restaurant. It's not served in a la carte. It's what we are doing. It's being determined to do it. At all costs, fight for it, grab it, snatch it,
Yes, sir.
and run with it.
Yes, sir. Jagaban. Jagaban.
The country is going through a very strong phase of reform. And this reform is taking a very bold and hard decision. For example, you might be hearing from home now in the last few days about fuel prices. But can we help it? Can we develop? You use their good roads, say, You see electricity being constant. You see water supply being constant and running. What is the critical path to get us there? If we cannot take hard, painful decisions to pave the way, now is to provide the leadership that is necessary. And I'm committed to that. It's not all about politics. If you are afraid of taking the hard decision when it is time to do it, you probably will not be able to build a national consensus any day, anytime.
You think leadership is a common case? No. Esther said, if I perish, I perish. Whenever you are in leadership, look at what happened to Donald Trump. In America, where security is everywhere. Yet, 2 times now they wanted to kill him. Every profession has its own risk. If you're not willing to take the risk that is attached to any profession, step aside so that people who are given that mind by God will go ahead and serve God in that capacity. If you're an actor and an actress and you say you're not going to hug babes and you're not going to kiss them, step aside. Because that's what the job is. Don't come and say you're a born-again Christian. That's what the job entails. If you're a politician and you can't stand for your people that voted for you, and because you don't want to die, step aside. Because that's what the job entails. Any politician that is not behaving like Simfubara, who will resist and protest when his rights are trampled upon, knowing that our judicial system, knowing that our electoral system have failed us, that any politician who will not stand his ground, no matter the risk to his person, I said I will not speak for that politician again, and I maintain it. And you can see what is happening, because we can't go forward. We calm down. If Simfubara has been saying calm down, do you know where River State would have been? He said he's ready for them. He's fully prepared. The election must go on. The election must hold. Winners must be declared. They will be sworn in. And whatever is going to happen, let it happen. I am looking for leaders who would say nobody will rig my election, and if you rig my election, I will fight. Nigerians, come out and fight. If they kill anybody, let them kill all of us. Oh yes, and thank God I'm seeing it happen. What Fubara did, was he advocating for violence? Was he advocating that the law should be broken? No. He was advocating for his right. That's my opinion. That's my advocacy. We must advocate for our right and stand by it. I did not disqualify anybody. I don't have that right. I said I am not going to speak for anybody going forward except this person meets this criteria. In any case, we have finished 2023 election. It's over. 2027 election has not come. So anybody who is saying betrayal, what am I betraying? There is nothing on ground. When I was a spokesman in 2023, I did my job creditably well, and we convinced Nigerians on what we believe is right. But you can see that in Nigeria, you not only have to have the power to win election, you have to have the power to defend your election. So anybody that does not have that spirit or power to defend the votes in a manner that you would say whatever happens to me as a person, let it happen. I am not willing to speak any further for the person. So what I just simply said is that going forward, I will no longer be part of this until these fears are addressed. So I did not disqualify anybody. One, I don't have that power. Then two, I am not betraying anybody because I'm still a member of Labour Party. And you can see I'm still fighting that Labour Party should be consolidated because Nigerians are looking for an alternative to these people. That if you want to fight these people who are compulsive thieves and who are the worst amongst us, leading us, according to Senator Ndume, who is part of them, then you have to grow higher and be more aggressive than calm down. That's what I said, and I stand by it. In all honesty, I would have said we don't. But because I'm a student of theology, I would not say so. Because when Elijah thought he was the only person that was worshiping God, God said, no, you're not the only person. There are more than 7,000 persons like you still in that country that have not done anything evil. I know them. So the only thing we have to do in this country, we must not be sentimentally attached to anybody, any politician. We must not be loyal to political parties or politicians. We have to be loyal to the country and to the law. And if any law is unjust, we have to fight the law. If anybody is doing anything illegal, no matter who the person is, we have to fight the person. So in Nigeria, we must create the environment so that those 7,000 that we do not know who are leaders will be able to begin to emerge. If the good ones keep quiet, they will never emerge. When people say people are selling their votes, you know why they are selling their votes? Because they believe that even if they vote their conscience, it will not count. Not because they want to be corrupt. They saw what happened in 2023. I was an active participant in that election of 2023. They did not sell their votes. But after, it did not count. So they'll be like, why would I go and say I'm voting for my conscience when it will not count? If I'm going to take this money, at least it will be what I gain. So if we don't fight, we are...
You know, Reuben Abati's statement that Ndibo do not sell land to the outsiders, it's very unfortunate. It's unguarded. And I think it was meant particularly to malign Ndibo with very ulterior motive. Let me start. My father was into real estate business. And before the war, a man who was not from my town bought a land, had his documents. After the war, the man did not know where the land was, did not have any documents. They told him my father was the honest man. Now point the land to him. He came to my father with gifts and all those. My father said, no, I remember you. I'll take you to your land anytime you are ready. So my father took him to his land. And the man turned out to be a bank manager. And he told my father, so it is really true. We still have honest people. Yeah, he is now going to facilitate a loan for my father to improve his business. And that was how my father took loan from the bank and nationalized his transport business, which helped him to become one of the richest men in the town during our own time, because he sold land to somebody who is not from our town. And so when a man now comes to make statements that he's not versed in, then you will know that he has personal anti-Igbo mentality in his gene. Recall that when Nigeria got its independence, University of Nigeria was sited in Nsukka, my town. And that made it a town that everybody from Nigeria came into the land. And it's because they were accommodated. Also, you had a lot of Yoruba, Hausa, coming to University of Nigeria. There were 3 universities then. You had University of Ibadan. They named it after Ibadan. You had Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. And then you had University of Nigeria. So would a town, would a people that have been pro-Nigeria from beginning begin to discriminate as to who to sell land to? Would a people whose article in trade is buying and selling begin to discriminate when they want to sell their land? When an Igbo man is dealing in business, he's looking at profit and loss, not where you come from. Now, if Ndi Igbo are doing well in real estate in Lagos and doing well in real estate in Abuja, where did they learn it from? They learned it from dealing in real estate from their own town, from their own place, because that is merely an expansion. You can't give what you don't have. Now, do you sell land to your own people? No. Everybody has land. If you are a man in Igbo land, you're entitled to a plot of land in your own land. So if there was any land sold by Ndi Igbo, it is sold to people who are not Ndi Igbo. And then, how can somebody ignorantly begin to make such statement? Reuben Abati simply celebrated his ignorance publicly. And let me tell you, he offended the legal profession, because in law, you don't condemn a people unheard. You cannot condemn a people without hearing from their side. He just said he borrowed a language from T.O.S. Benson without even knowing the context. And he ran to television and established it and asserted it as a fact. It's against the legal profession. And he condemned Ndi Igbo unheard. What he would have done is to get an Igbo expert to be educated or present him on the studio.
You now welcome. The fact that either they sell land for Igbo land or not is a national conversation. Just tell us that the hope lie not in the generations that are looking for power after the older generation. I welcome you guys, ladies and gentlemen, to today's episode of Warner Politics. To those who hold Obasanjo in high esteem because of his leadership role he played from 1999 to 2007, to which he wrote a book and named it what? Under My Watch. What those people will not tell you, or either they don't understand, or just want to tell story or history as they want it to be told, is the role of the IMF, is the role of the World WT, is the role of the, I mean, you can name it, that played out during Obasanjo's administration. And in case you don't understand the 7, 8 years of Obasanjo and the relationship with the West, how everything changed, you also have pay attention to Bola Tinubu administration because it's the same playbook, right? But it's just that in this one, during Obasanjo time, the 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 American hegemony, the American empire, is just celebrating victory, the Cold War victory over the Soviet Union. As at the early 90s, I believe late 80s, they've already succeeded in defeating that ideology, and the capitalist ideology reigns supreme until one would say during Obama's time, or shortly after the 200s, right? The 2000s, I mean. Now, it's the same thing that is happening. All right? If you pay attention, regardless of how we they cry, regardless of what is going on, the IMF, the World Trade Organization, the whoever you want to name it, can't stop giving us money, right? And we'll go into that in depth as the show progresses. But first of all, let's go back to where we are in the scheme of things. In case we get carried away with Igbo the seller and Igbo no the seller, and a conversation that is channeled by clowns. Now we they always like pay attention to. It's as if Nigeria is not accessible. The southeast gets you can't go to the southeast. All you need to do is just pick a call and call anybody. But that's not what we want to do. We want to take the conversation in the national platform so that we can see we can say okay, one a clan, one know what you're saying, one is you can some. But anyway, let's come back to the stage of play and where we are in the scheme of things.
What the president essentially is doing is trying to pull all the resources to the southwest, particularly Lagos. Many of the oil companies are in Niger Delta, are in the Delta region. That's where they have their operations. But their headquarters are in Lagos. They pay VAT to Lagos. Dangote is paying VAT in Lagos with his factories in the north. What has Lagos done to earn that? So Lagos is getting all of that money. And now you're saying, oh yeah, that money is ours, that money is ours. No, it isn't. Lagos is what it is today thanks to the Nigeria's Commonwealth. All the infrastructures were built by Nigerian Commonwealth. The ports, the bridges, the everything. If anybody asks you must pay. So people need to be sensible. There is this thing they call in the old Zulu adage, Ubuntu. You are who you are because of me. It's common humanity. Northern governors met in Kaduna to talk about VAT. Oh, and they want to accrue more money. Let me say that they were not there for God and country or for the region. They were collecting there because they are not going to get more money. So this selfishness, oh, it's me, it's me, it's me, and the president is following that, it's raising antenna alarm in the north. To all that, yes, and the president has sent a bill to the House about his tax reform. That is his right as the executive. But it is the right of our representatives, and we are watching them very closely. It is the right of our representatives to fight for us and kill that bill if it does not do well for the people they are representing. End of story. There is no argument. There is no argument. This is what democracy is. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on his own cannot do things without reverting back to the House. And we have our representatives there that we will hold accountable.
Often have different outcomes than people expect, and sometimes when they start, they can be lasting for 5, 6, or 7 years. And so I think it's incumbent on all of us to worry about it. It doesn't stop J.P. Morgan from expanding. We want to serve clients and serve countries and be respected wherever we do business to help Nigerians in Nigeria and Nigerian companies here, and also Nigerian companies that go overseas. So we still have expansion plans, so worrying about that doesn't stop us from doing things, but we just have to be very conscious of the risk it creates.
Nigeria insists that they have to impress their neighbors and other people that they eat foreign rice. I said, no rice. You either you eat what you grow what you eat, or you die. I think I tried to make my point. And later, Nigeria appreciated it because it provides more jobs. People go back to the land. We have the land, and we produce what we eat. I have only 6 more days to go. And I try to plan to be as far away from Abuja as possible. And thank goodness I came from an area which is farthest away from Abuja. I said, if anybody false move, I establish good relationship with my neighbors. The Nigerian people will defend me. Thank you very much.
Just to refresh my memory that there are important things that are play rather than the noise we join with the
Nice
Abati and
idea,
Co.
but it won't help. It'll just formalize the reality that poor countries can never repay their loans.
Senator, are you saying that you're opposed to debt relief for impoverished countries?
No, we should forgive the debts, but that's not going to help those countries very much.
Okay. What will?
Tax cuts.
After all, the other Obasanjo, they shouldn't forget our debt. And we are still
Some
here.
African tax rates are the highest in the world. In Tanzania, the 30% rate kicks in at $475 of income. Plus, they have a 20% value-added tax. It gets added to everything you buy. Those high tax rates make it impossible to build capital in those countries. So nothing gets built, not factories, not roads, not anything. Poor African countries have the lowest wage workers in the world. And yet a company like Nike, for instance, can't put a factory in one of those countries because of the oppressive tax rates. Taxes have killed any possibility of economic development. They've killed any hope of these countries ever helping themselves. And that leaves them completely at the mercy of charity and loans. And here's the worst part. You know why those countries have such high tax rates? Because of us. To show us that they can raise enough money to pay back their loans. But taxes can't raise any money if they kill the economies. So it turns out that the tragic, unintended consequence of our good intentions toward Africa, our kindness, is that we have encouraged those countries to lock themselves into a gruesome economic depression. If we don't urge those countries to cut their tax rates, they will never grow their economies. People will live lifetimes of unemployment. Disease will be rampant. Poverty will be permanent. And children will be hungry. And our charity will never be enough. Never.
It's on record that I said that the bill has already been passed, that whatever the North are doing are just shenanigans. They are just playing out, pushing the limits, exhausting what democracy is all about, or capitalizing on the loopholes in democracy, right? That's what the North is doing, trying to get as much as they can squeeze out of this government before they grant the government the wishes, which is the bill, are to pass. Now we're beginning to understand that the correlation between the loans that the Western world is giving, how it's being spent, how is it going to be repaid back, the tax bill, the economy, everything is embedded in just one story. I said it at the earlier stage of this administration, that the goal of this administration is to widen the gap between the rich and the poor. The rich are going to see their wealth triple, while the majority are going to fall into that multidimensional poverty that we classify the poor in Nigeria. We are going to see that with more policy that favor the rich and the wealthy, and charity or handouts being melted upon the poor from the government. The goal is to subject the people as much as they can at the mercy of the government for handouts like student loan, food stamp, Medicaid. But now they don't give them 2 weeks of free transportation between 23 and on the 5th, Abi. So now, why are all these things happening? Now, again, going back to what I said about the North, that they are looking for something before they fully give in. So let's look at what the loan, what 2025 loan that they are going to give us and where it's centered on and why my assumption or conclusion is pretty much in order about the North. Now, the World Bank has unveiled a 1.65 billion loan package for Nigeria in 2025, aimed at addressing critical challenge in the country. This financing package consists of three major projects. Put that at the back of your mind. Three major projects. Let's see where this project is located or how it's geared towards or who is going to benefit with this project. If this money is even going to go to the project at all. I mean, other one will know. Anyway, one, the project. Let's go by the project. One, the solution for internally displaced and host community project. Now, let's pause for a minute. If you say 99% of the words internally displaced communities are in the north, you are right. Right? You are right. Now, again, if you want to argue that, oh, some community in the south are hosting, also know why they are hosting. If you pay attention to that of Imo State in particular, where the Imo citizens are pushing back, they don't need what they call them, IDPC. I've been IDPC for Imo State. You should understand why the governor want that because he will get cut of this money. No matter if bill that can 50 million, that can 10 to 20 million dollars will go to RAP to take care of the what those internally displaced people that he host, that his community hosts. And me and you know how that money will go. So now have that at the back of your mind too when some people, some governors who have no reason to have internal displaced community for their own area, they accept them in the name of, oh, we they help citizens and another. No, it is because of the money that is coming and are free of charge or accountable for. Now, that's solution. Now, if 90% of that money is going to go to the north, are you still now seeing why they are holding back before? So all these are going to be accelerated in the first quarter of 2015. So why then you go say why the thing they come out now? It's not necessarily because the year is ending or blah, blah. No, it is because just pay attention. The rhetoric, the pushback from the north will they subside now because of this money that is coming, right? Things go this smooth, and you will not be surprised if there are no converge before the year ends and sign up the bill, or at least the first or second week of the resumption when they come back to the house. Now, a $300 million commitment to provide sustainable solution for internally displaced persons and their host community, addressing their social and economic challenge. The project is scheduled for approval on April 8, 2025. So you see why things they go the way they go when it comes to the conversation around the tax bill. And again, when they allude to that, Bola Tinubu is doing excellently well. It's not doing bad. Power that be, people who put him there, people who expected him to do what and what not. He's doing exactly, if not better than what they expected. That's why they see that this money they pour in. So they don't need you or your freaking money to win the next election. It's already solid. And that's why you can pull it off domestically. The international community will sign it. Boom. You're good to go. And that's why you see busybody around the opposition when Bola Tinubu pull it off. They could not do anything rather than say he's going to court or going to Chicago. Now, let's continue. Project 2, hope for equality basic education for all. Right? I mean, these are projects, these are official projects, these are work band projects. No be saying that Bola Tinubu just make them up. These are work band projects. If you Google hope for quality basic education for all, you understand that these are solid policy from our IMF. Now, a 553.8 million financing package to improve quality basic education with approval slated for March 2025. Now, if you pay attention to the headlines, you Abi, or if you dey follow Bayo Anunuga, you understand that he has put out a communique that an education specialist from World Bank had just been appointed to be the chairperson of what universal basic education. It's not a coincidence. Again, when I dey challenge the doctor that was on Dr. Damage's show on Sunday for praising Obasanjo, that Obasanjo bring the best brain, the technocrat from all over the world, from Goldman Sachs, from World Health Organization, to come and work for us. That's how it works. So you see now, IMF they give us loan, telling us where and how to spend them. But that's not, it didn't just stop there, but they are also giving in their profession, the specialists who will actually take this in a play. Now, you now understand why people like Betty Edu no fit survive for that place where they put am. And you also now understand why the previous minister that held that position, Minister of Humanitarian, is now working with what? WHO. Yeah, either WHO or WTO, but they with them now. So now that's about half a billion dollars is coming to that just that package alone, education for all, right? Now, the third project that this money will go to. Now, again, if you look at the people who are more disadvantaged in terms of this basic education in Nigeria, is largely towards the north. Again, you see where the money they go. So you see why then they hold back in their negotiation for this thing, right? Now let's do this. The third project is accelerating nutrition results in Nigeria. I never knew that there's anything fucking like that until this morning. Now, if you do your research on accelerating nutritional results, don't put Nigeria, then you understand that now IAF what policy and project that has been going on. Guess how much is going to that commitment? An 800 million commitment to accelerate nutrition results in Nigeria with a decision meeting scheduled for February 2020. Now, I know that behooves me, right? But I don't know how they want to do it. But I believe they're in conjunction with the what? The health ministers, because this particular policy is geared towards infants aged between 0 to 2, I think. So, and again, all these three projects is largely in favor of what the north. So let's do this. That's why I thought say when I see Bola Tinubu no go win, it's as if you don't understand how the power, how the arrange Nigeria, how the Nigerian business model they work. This project focuses on vulnerable sector requiring urgent intervention, supporting Nigerian social and economic recovery. The World Bank continue commitment to support Nigeria ongoing reform is evident in the financing package, of course. Now, you see why Obi cannot come out and criticize either the bill or this kind of loan, because he would have been the beneficiary. And going back, what Jimmy Diamond said in that video that I just played about they will keep expanding regardless of the outcome or how the impact is going to be on the majority of Nigerians. They don't give a fuck. They will keep expanding. And it's going to continue for at least for the next 5, 10, 15 years, as long as the Cold War within the Western capitalists and the BRICS socialism tendency continue. This policy, we anybody we won't come as president has to go with it. Now, so if you go, as I said, the guy there is to put that one to rest. Bola Tinubu has appointed a specialist that will pioneer, that will put that thing on. Let me look for that. Let me look for that article and bring it to your folks. Please like, share, and subscribe. As the last of you, if you can't do that, get the fuck out. I bet I'm gonna like, share, and subscribe. Dun, 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 dun. What is that? Where is that? Where is that? Where he is there? Now, Tinubu appoint World Bank specialist Aisha Garba as new UBEC boss. Now let's get jiggy. Tinubu appoints World Bank specialist Aisha Garba as new UB. I tell you now, say now them they bring the specialist because 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you will see somebody will come on anywhere, just like the doctor that came on Dr. Damage's show, and be saying, "Oh, Tinubu did not just carry out the policy that bring all this multinational into our life, but guess what? He also had the temerity to appoint specialists from all over the world." Da-da-da. You no get choice. No be appoint her. It comes with the package. Now, President Bola Tinubu has appointed a senior education specialist with the World Bank, Aisha Buhari, as the new executive secretary of the United UBA Education. Now, it's not a coincidence that as I said, the appointment is coming at the same time when the loan announced, even though it will take the next 3 months before it actually goes into it. So the lady, the Aisha Garba, so coming to office now and prepare things for ground before they release the cash. Now, this was confirmed in a statement on Tuesday by the special advisor to the President Bola Tinubu on Information and Strategy, Bayo Anonuga. According to the statement, Garba has over 15 years of experience with the World Bank and has worked on terms that met the Millennium Development Goal. That was okay. Um, I'm not saying good luck now for that Millennium Development Goal up, and that's one of the reasons they got fired. Targets in Nigeria consulted for the World Bank has also been involved in several other projects. The president expects the new UBEC boss, boss, who is described as an international development specialist, to drive the renewed hope and vision of providing and supporting quality education and ensuring that Nigerian children become globally competitive in a new role. So all those three projects, so will be coordinated what under this our world renowned educational whatever specialist. Anyway, according to the Onanuga statement, President Bola Tinubu has appointed Aisha Buhari, an international development specialist as the executive secretary of the Universal Basic Education. Garba, a senior education specialist with the World Bank, brings more than 24 years of experience driving impactful program in education for human and economic development, working in Nigeria, Ghana, Somalia, Kenya, and the United States of America, including the United Kingdom. Can't beat that, man. Can't just beat that. With over 15 years of hands-on experience at the World Bank, Garba has consistently led end-to-end design and management of education program and reform from conceptualization to completion and impact assessment. Apart from being actively interested in and involved in human development issues, the development specialist will share a rich network with governments. A rich network. Anyway, development partners and communities, as well as the skills she acquired working in fragile conflict and violent settings to deliver sustainable solution in basic education. Can be that, man. Garba had previously worked on the term that met the Millennium Development Goal targeted in Nigeria and consulted for World Bank, Department for Internal Development, Bond UK, Regent Foundation, and Muslim Aid Organization. She is an alum. She's a okay. This is where she's coming from. She's an alumna of Petra American University in Jordan. Interesting. Where she earned a Bachelor of Art combined degree in English and Computer Science in 2000. She later got a Master's in International Development at the University of Birmingham in UK in 2007. The president expects the new executive secretary of UBEC to drive the renewed hope and vision for providing and supporting quality education and ensuring the Nigerian children become globally competitive. So in 20 years, if it is years, say, oh, Nigerians go Canada and become you understand, it's not rocket science. They don't dey prepare us to come and compete in the global market since the day we were born. Even before we were born, the deal has already been signed. Like the goal is to educate you to come and be competitive in the world, quote unquote. In other words, come do the work where your ancestors will do before, just in a different form. So again, you see why I said Bola Tinubu he losing 2027 election. I'm not gonna think it should something that should not be entertained. Because, but I understand why the opposition parties still have to put on their best game because it is not just about 2027 but 2023 when the president will not be eligible to run for re-election. So we leave that house wide open for a new sheriff, and you will see how they will go and all won't kill themselves again, just like it was in 2023. There is another this one bank, World Bank, this one bank. Uh, there's another angle to this World Bank. Let me get it out. Now, there's another piece. This was on November 17th. Still coming from the same people, World Bank and their family. It's a youth unemployment in Nigeria, a ticking time bomb. Now, this picture, when are my idea of useless generation that is going to be upon us by the year 2050 or so. Look at this thing. Okay, that means nothing new. All now old, prepared. Job, of course. The why would the fish say it new is that we had two presidents between Obasanjo and Tinubu, right? Who kind of either did not give 100% commitment to the IMF policy or just totally in that in case of that of Buhari. If you remember, Buhari was heavily dealing with freaking much everybody, right? Give what America wants, partially, right? He bought war equipment for them. That's okay for them. That's a multi-billion-dollar, that's why they are all see the flow. So he focus on China, right? Get enough from China, build their railway and all that kind of. So if you understand, so they would not really give you 100%. Then good law was somebody when Obasanjo prepared the rope for him because Obasanjo now be the architect, now the pioneer of this IMF, now be the master how to implement everything in a way that everybody will just say, oh, he's doing a great job. So good luck. What the mistake good luck made was to bring people who are not part of this IEF, whatever ideology into his government, the likes of Desiani and who decided to just shift attention of the whole policy to that direction. So you could see why the whole nation were able to rise up at the same point against president because the influence of because the IMF gangs were so hungry to the point that they had to work with everybody, both militant, anybody that opposition party overwhelmingly Obasanjo came out and just says blah blah blah. All those kind of things. So the same play as you said, as you put it, George. So now we have a man who come with the same mind and the same openness with Obasanjo and everything. Who his own goal is to make sure he get better in the past of Obasanjo in international community. So you see why all these things they flee. But the danger of this is what Ikenna Ngere published on 19th November 2024. Now, other than the election, let's just focus on the future impact on this. So he said, as Africa's most populous country, Nigeria struggles with youth unemployment, which impairs its economic growth and undermines social stability. With a population of 232.7 million in 2024, this number they confuse me, like my governor, Mona Noves. With a population of 232.7 million in 2024, Nigeria often celebrated as the giant of Africa. In home to one of the youngest population in the world, with over 60% of its citizens under 25%. See when I say PDP are not in line to win election for the next 20 years. This is exactly what I'm talking about. How the fuck is it that 25 years solidly going, we now not get a national agenda that is either going to be permanently centered around Nigerian youth, regardless of the year, the decade, who comes to power, that is being sponsored by that institution called PDP, is what I don't get. I mean, at this point, it's not a rocket science why Obi was able to do what he did. Obi did not take votes from anybody, contrary to what we are saying, oh, na PDP vote. No. The majority of the people that voted for Obi had no home. There was no plan from them, either from the two ruling party. Nothing. We just let them because we no get choice. What else are we going to do? If not, anybody that will come and sing for us will follow you. Anybody that come and give us money. That's exactly what is happening. And as they come, how come PDP in 2024 are still building an alternative bullshit around person like Sheumi, who's been around for the past 30 years? So what about the 60% that are just there? So again, when they talk, say all these men are preaching to the same people. This is exactly what I mean. Nobody wants to go out there and do the job, which is to organize. It's going to take time. You might not live to see the success of what you began, but that's exactly what it's going to take. So people, I don't know how all these politicians, I don't know who they work for them. These are the statistics you put on the table when designing a program. Anyway, so if 60% of Nigerians are under 25%, it's probably exactly what I told you. By 2031, you are going to have 3 generations grown adults with families, but have no political power or economic power. And whoever that is going to tailor his message and able to, instill that among this generation, is going to win like it will be like Trump. Will scatter everything winnable. Anyway, however, instead of reaping the benefit of its dividends, the country grapple with the harsh reality that more than 40% of its youth remain unemployed. Now, when they tell you, say, oh, if you are 80%, if you are earning 800,000, you know to pay tax. How many people? That means anybody that is a market, and he or she is going to pay. So if you are not earning 800, which is way below minimum wage, you either unemployed or you are below you either totally unemployed or your employment is not up to par. Anyway, the growing crisis stifle dreams, fuel frustration, and jeopardize national stability. Exactly. So they can say EPA or the PT say no. The reality is right there, and that's exactly where Democrats got it wrong too. They are here, they're so far in their house, they can't actually relate to the reality on ground. So when there's nothing to dream for, I mean, hunger, fuel frustration, what do you expect? Now, recent data showed that over 40% of Nigerian youth are unemployed, leaving millions of young people feeling hopeless and frustrated. Despite their potential, these youth are often sidelined due to a lack of access to quality education, inadequate job opportunities, and insufficient support system. Now, this is what I want to say. Despite their potential, I talked on before, years in now, 2-3 years in now, that by 2050 or as we progress beyond that decade, we are going to have, for the first time in the history of humanity, we are going to have legally, like people legally that will be described as useless generation. Just like this article said, they are potential, they are educated, they are healthy, they are ready to go. But literally, there's nothing for them to do. This is unemployment, right? Maybe things are not going well, that's why they are unemployed, right? By the time the Bola Tinubu administration finish with us, and maybe another person with the same ideology come and do it all for like 16 years, pretty much one generation, you understand that the whole economic of Nigeria will be controlled by multinationals. There's more they can employ. So with the incoming, with the infusion of the AI, biotechnology, and what have you. Now you understand why they use that extreme example that we are going to have a factory in Abuja, Lagos, Aba, anywhere that normal traditionally we accommodate at least 100 people working in that warehouse. Going forward, we are going to see just one person and one dog. That's an extreme example, but this is gradually is getting there. I will continue with that article. Let's see what George. Ovie, who are the PDPs? Do they have leadership? Who is going to plan? No more AK Ekweme Ige. Lie. I mean, you just care. Now the question, the painful part of this your submission that I totally agree with, that the fact that these people you just mentioned, Ekweme them, Bola Ige, they lie that the fact that there are two generations who have no idea who these people are and the role they play in their political party is something that I don't understand. One, there's nobody in PDP actually bringing that to light. Of PDP is still the same leadership that brought Obasanjo, so they are still head bent on that generation, right? Even with them righteous man, we vote for PDP. Obasanjo, you want to vote for PDP too again? Atiku. Righteous man.
Hey, Ovie, how you doing? Compliment of the season.
What did happen? Which season we dey?
The season, the year is ending now. That's the season we did.
Okay.
That's the season we do. Yeah.
That's why I find it difficult to see Nigerians. When I see they keep celebration date, everybody flex with that now.
No, it's not that we are celebrating. That's at least that God was able to sustain our life irrespective of the difficulties. At least the year is ending. At least we have to be grateful to Him. We don't control our life. We don't own our life. Because let for these politicians and our religious leaders, we won't be alive today.
I agree.
In fact, I was so happy with your last program you did. But time is a problem with me. When I'm busy, it is difficult. Before I could join you, you would have finished. I loved the last program, 2 or 3 last programs you did. I watched it later. It was so interesting to me and so educative and very truthful. Straight to what is really happening. It seems you are the one that is capturing exactly what is happening in Nigeria now and facing the truth of the whole thing. So I really appreciate your truthfulness and precise analysis. Your words are very prophetic to time we are in. But most people that don't understand will not really know the angle you see things. And I quite agree with you.
Yeah, it's because I'm on ground. I'm somewhere between Okene and Abuja.
Ah!
I joke I do. I joke I do. And I joke I do. But I always talk to it. Well, anyway, and in order not to wash away what you are saying, it's because once you understand that these people are like you too, they are human like you have a goal, you have all those things, then there's no way anybody can tell you. When it's about the TV, the first thing you need to understand that instead the chop, instead the shit. So anything when he talk, if you cannot relate that to that, then Allah is just a lie. You understand? Because
Yeah.
as a common man, I go chop, I go sleep. That be my problem. Every other thing where they talk na rubbish. You understand? So that's why they see things. That's like this man wey dey speak grammar. So how this one take affect? So you now understand that the why they speak grammar. Now just say they go confuse ordinary person. You understand? You don't get time to analyze grammar. Wait now, how you go take up now you dey think. Nothing concern you with
Yeah.
all those grammar. You understand? So I
Yeah.
see things from that angle that regardless of just like when Abati come dey talk say Igbo no dey sell land. How the fuck does that even put food on any Nigerian table? Like how does that even play into our problem, right? But because they know that by the time the majority of people they see things like the way reality is there, problem go there for them. So that's why they will work out to make sure more good aim on higher, more good aim on things way like it doesn't really make sense.
Mm.
So that's where the angle I look at things from, and so thanks that you dey see that I'm on. That's my goal. My goal is to be present, right? Anywhere I dey, I want to be present. I want to know what is going on right there before I look
Yeah.
outside. So that's why my focus is okay. What is an average Nigerian feeling? I'm a Nigerian. I know what is like every other aspect of it is I understand. So it's hard because that's not what is pumping. That's not what is trending, right? That's not what is going to. But the fact that you know that I'm speaking, you were there on ground, you are giving a feedback, a remark, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah, but
How long are you going? How long will the platform last today? Because I'm a bit busy. I said let me join you and just before I continue what I'm doing.
I appreciate. I did here, but there is I don't know about you get them. There is Dr. Damage. There's a show. I don't know, but that's enough on Zoom that I would like to attend. Make I bring them up. Hold on a minute. This Justice for Daily Faro TV. So the speaker Amole Ishowore, Tope Temokun, Human Rights Attorney, Faro TV Legal Team, Dr. Malcolm Fabe. So the thing they come up in the next 2 o'clock, my time, in the next 3 hours, your time, 7 o'clock p.m.
Okay.
Update on Daily Faro TV's case. One, action. Two, action. What you can do. Three, mobilize for Friday court appearance. So they put up a link. Please share with all committed to fight corruption in Nigeria. So I would like what I'm trying to say is I would like attend them. I would like join them to listen to
Okay.
which is in the next
Okay.
what three in the next 3 hours. So what I'm trying, I might be here for the other 3 hours.
Okay. Then that means I will join you later. I will join you
Yes,
later.
yes. Then
Yeah.
after the
Thank
outro, then
you.
I'll come back again. Thank you. I appreciate your
Okay.
feedback.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. George Berlusconi say, what is the compliment about this season when our citizens are dying and suffering? Well, anybody, even in Americans say, will tell you the same thing if you want to put it like that. But I get what you are saying, you know. That's why I asked them, like, for you to they have that, for you to, just like, I don't know why, George, I don't know why I listened yesterday, Nigerian all came yesterday, we laughed. So I think Nigerian story was a typical fit into what you just said, George. Nigerian man say when they bring beef for her, not have to go into details. When they bring beef for her, even the babe wey dey beside her, nothing, you know. It's when the drink, the alcohol disappear for her eye. The babe wey you wan knack, body no flow again. And I was like, damn. So that's exactly what if you pay attention to rhetoric that is coming out of Nigeria, especially from way that in diaspora, you will think that Nigerian in general should be in that state of a mind whereby, like, because of the reality of the situation, if you want to go by what is coming from in diaspora, that you are immune to anything, say you don't get joy, anything smile or celebration, right? That's what I've always said. They say, oh, bag of rice don't be expensive. Okay, not because you, for the fact that you even still know the price, that means things are good. Because it will get to a point whereby you no go even know the rice if they exist until you go to a big man restaurant, visit your rich uncle, or you go somewhere that things are getting that you now say, oh shit, we used to have that. So until you get to that stage, so when people are still preparing for Christmas, they buy gifts, they buy clothes, and just like a righteous man will say, again, going back to the way they program us, when I mean we Nigerians, which is largely centered around religion, Muslim or Christian. So you always find that empathy that okay, it is well. The fact that I'm here now, God. So there's a need for me to just pause and celebrate Him, right? Now God, anything way good, now God, anything way bad, now me and you and devil. So, so in as far we are still very much embedded in that culture. In as far you see fun, at least 2 out of 3 Nigerians wake up every day. The goal is to go to heaven. This cannot stop, George. So what is the compliment about? Okay, he said a righteous man who is simply a realist and have no time for all your big book grammar. You're right, man. You're right. It's just like are they hungry? They can't tell me say one person will do me production, one person will give me flight. But again, you are spot on. I live in a realistic world now. I mean, we have gradually stepped into what virtual reality, right? Where if you ask me, maybe 20 years from now, 1 out of 3 children cannot understand why I'm doing a live video with this kind of background, or why I have to talk, without filter, we just coming out raw. It was just strange. They will see me like aliens, right? When you go walk, when you have to actually literally step out of your work and walk, go inside a bush. Those are kind of things that every normal human being do. It sound like alien. It's getting to that time. So, and my goal is if I'm going to be alive long enough to be in that kind of world, I want to be able to be present without without seeing it as like without have to pay or work hard for it, because I foresee a time will come whereby you go pay just to sit down with somebody to have like organic conversation. So it will now boil down to those who have a lot of experience in real world when they start telling their story, right? Just like your grandfather sit down and begin to tell you how they hustle, how life used to be. You see the very empowering, very educative, very even though it's in the old school, but you now compare it to your today life, like "Oh, shit, those motherfuckers actually live a better life than us, right? So we are getting to that point that another thing for you to actually understand what I'm saying is writing, right? Writing. There was a time, especially when we grew up a village, now from chalk to slate to chalkboard and all that. Then graduated to books, pencil, biro. Right now, a computer. We are going to the next stage whereby our kids, you dey tell them say you dey use hand write before, or you dey type on computer, they would look like, what the fuck are you saying? It's getting to that point. Just like if you tell your child now, they come on now slate. I don't know if people remember what they call slate in or aloe in the north. They call it that slate. Literally, you could do dark like this. When they use charcoal on Monday, they don't use charcoal right. I can't dark clean like this. I can't give you chalk. Literally, that's what it used to be. Then we go to books, pencil, biro. So if you come to a point, I think the next generation of gadgets, phone will come. It will be like this. You know, go get, you know, go get, apps. You know, go get apps like this. It will just be blank. Whatever the fuck that you want, and to just speak to them. It will go or gesture or something. It will just everything. If I want to talk to George, if I want to reply George, I will say, okay, reply George statements on so time, so page, whatever. I'll call you, like, So at that time, if they tell child, say, your handwriting is bad, like, what the fuck? I was like, they can't even write. So when you see things like that, you realize that as exciting and like intriguing that kind of world is going to be. I don't know, man. I still want to wake up every morning, climb tree, enter bush, take a shit. Just still get dirty with my hands, my feet. I still want to be outside. Outside. Most of these things are a lot of people cannot come to terms or see what is it unless you see they work outdoor as somebody who strive, who still do construction, who still do pavement, tie roads, asphalt, mark roads, cover courts, parking lot, and all that kind of shit. Even me, in the next 20 years, I can't even do that kind of job no more for obvious reason. We are becoming to have a AI control machine that if I come like a parking lot that has about 700 parking spots, right? That before, as soon as I come, I have to take tape literally with somebody else. They measure, take the measurement of each parking spot, do your minus and subtraction, do your handicap spot, the version, turn right, and all that kind of shit, right? We now have a machine that all you need to do just punch in number, set it. If you go around and take your measurement, put out the mark, on that machine there that has a laser, you program it, you just go. Depend everything. So that's what I'm going to losing my job gradually from that. Now, this is a job that has to do with you have to do literally calculation maths to mark out the area, then physically apply your body to do the work. So those two is going gradually, but most importantly, the idea of parking lots, right? The idea you having a garage is going to be history. Because if you don't have a car, because that's the goal. If you don't have a car, I mean, if you live in a place like New York, this thing where they talk will not be, it's not too far off anymore, right? When all you need to do if you want to go to, I want to go to George House, and it doesn't matter where that is, just to say, I need a car to go to so place. And the car will pull up. All you need to do is just get in, and it will take you there. So to even have a car, they're not going to be a luxury or something that is not going to be that feel good to have anymore. So from that angle, no more parking lot, no more many roads to travel. I'm out of the business. Right now, if me that combine a little bit of office calculation to physical labor, they talk about how my job is going to be gone. Who the fuck are you that or you work with this computer? Thinking that you're not doctor, so you're special, right? You're not even lawyer, you're special. No, that day your grandkids will be like, oh, I can't relate. Anyway, George, let me go back to how we are going to arrive at. We are going to be among the country that will contribute more numbers to this useless generation. I don't talk plenty, Marcy. I forgot. But hold on now. Okay. So recent data shows that over 40% of Nigerian youth are unemployed, leaving millions of young people feeling hopeless and frustrated despite their potential. These youths are often sidelined due to a lack of access to quality education, inadequate jobs opportunity, and insufficient support system. The National Bureau of Statistics defines Nigerian working age population as individuals willing and able to work or those outside the labor force. Yet the unemployment rate rose from 5% in fourth quarter 2023 to 5.3 in first quarter in 2024. Now, this incremental rise reflects a deeper problem that disproportionately affects the youth, with implications for beyond joblessness. The consequences of youth unemployment are glaring. Social vices such as armed robbery, terrorism, prostitution, and politically thuggery are rampant. See? But they will just point at individuals as if individuals are responsible for what is going on, aka Samuel Epa, posing several threats to national security. This issue rooted in the frustration of unemployed youth, hinder the country's long-term development. For urgent action now, they are suggesting the same World Bank are suggesting solution. I have my own solution to this. The World Bank has urged Nigerian federal government to prioritize job creation for young Nigerians. Okay. And you see they give us loan and tell us where the loan should be spent or how it should be spent, where it should go. It has nothing to do with this recommendation you are making. Especially as recent economic reform has led to increment inflation and rising living costs. The World Bank country director for Nigeria, Ndeme Diop, emphasized that addressing unemployment is essential to mitigate the economic pressure on Nigerian households. Now, wait a minute. The World Bank country, that is the Nigerian country director for World Bank, Ndeme Diop, ain't fucking Nigerian. So fucking some guy from Senegal or anyway, precisely addressing unemployment. How do you understand the employment mechanism and mitigation within the Nigerian context? Anyway, stakeholder insight. In an exclusive interview with Nigeria News, the national president of the Northern Christian Youth Association of Nigeria, NYCN, Michael Musa Shekarau, highlighted the urgent need for more proactive governance in addressing youth unemployment. Shekarau expressed concern that government efforts so far have been insufficient. According to Shekarau, while the government may not be able to employ every young Nigerian, it can create policy that empower youth to start their own business. Yeah, they'll give 5,000. Such as offering soft loans without stringent collateral requirements. He lamented the current lack of policy that fosters self-employment and supports youth entrepreneurship. Well, it's as if you don't understand what what their policy line. Your guys want to educate and make sure the child that is under the age of 14 is well fed and well educated. You are not their concern. A grown ass motherfucker. Now, policy shortcomings. Shekaro criticized the lack of robust government initiative to tackle unemployment. The government cannot employ everyone, but must implement policies that enable young Nigerians to access soft loan and create businesses. He noted that the focus on infrastructural projects like road construction has overshadowed job creation efforts. Thanks to Wike, who know how to amplify overhead bridge to the glorification of the young people. Can't be that. Insecurity and agriculture. Insecurity and agriculture, particularly in northern Nigeria, has crippled agricultural productivity. Really? It's a news. Really? So the lack of agricultural development in the north is actually the lack of insecurity. Oh, I thought it's Lagos State is the problem. Who is suffering all the resources? All the tax going to Lagos. I think that's what the problem. Insecurity could be the problem too. No wonder Lagos is secure. Nobody's thinking about that. I'm talking to Professor Yusuf, who is saying Ubuntu. You are because of what? Lagos is Lagos because of no. Lagos fucking can maintain peace. So everybody wants to either invest or live where it's peaceful. So for the fact that Shekarau, I'm talking about the youth leader in the north, is actually pointing this out, it's mind-boggling. The insecurity, particularly in the northern Nigeria, has crippled agricultural productivity. So if productivity of agriculture cannot survive, why do you expect the multinationals to come over there and pay you tax? It behooves me. 80% of rural youth depend on farming. Oh, really? Well, to be fair enough, Buhari made an effort. Oh, I'm just. Anyway, 80% of the young depend on farming, but insecurity prevents them from accessing their land. The government must address the security issue and provide collateral-free loans to empower young entrepreneurs. He explained. Corruption. Shekaro also pointed to systematic corruption as a significant barrier. Nigga, Nigerian corruption is not systematic. Oh. It is live and real. Now, broad daylight. Ain't nothing systematic about. Now, if you say Nigerian corruption is systematic, how the fuck are you going to explain American corruption or Chinese corruption or those advanced country who designed their way of life in that way that you are describing? Nigerian corruption is bagbos. Now, bagbos. Go there, take 80 billion, they arrest you, give them 500 million, you good. That ain't systematic, that ain't rocket science. That is right there in your fucking face. Take it, go do your worst. So, sir, I disagree with you that Nigerian corruption is systematic. Ain't nothing systematic about it. Employment opportunities are often based on connection rather than merit, leaving deserving young Nigerians sidelined. He lamented them. How systematic can that be? That's obvious. That's strictly black and white crime. Weak advocacy. Now let's see that. Weak advocacy. He criticized youth organizations for aligning with government interests rather than holding leaders accountable. Motherfucker, youth ain't got no organization going on anywhere. Every organization that you see out there run by youth is not run by youth, it's being financed by the same party. So the idea that you say they align with the party and you could not see the correlation is behooves me. I don't get it. Tell me one organization that is out there that is not funded by the government or their parasisters or their cronies. All of them. So, sir, to say they align, it's as if you don't understand the position that you occupy as a leader. Get the fuck out of there. Let people know how the game works. Be the leader. And walk around this bullshit. It criticizes youth organization for aligning with government interests rather than holding leaders accountable. If this group prioritized defending youth interests, the government would have no choice but to act responsibly, he argued. I don't know why you didn't indict yourself. You are leading a group organization. At the end of the day, when I will come out, I support this, I support that. Do you know what systematic means? I beg you know, tell me, I don't know. Olawale Oluyemisi. Kí ni systematic? Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, educate me there. Kí ni systematic? Huh? I'm waiting. Let me do quick systematic. So, systematic is it? Is that systemic? So let's ask my personal AI what systematic means. Systematic approach to the trade. Oh man, the lady said no. He won't continue for where I stopped. Systematic is an adjective done or acting according to a fixed plan or system. Methodologically, a system search for the whole city. Structured, as a similar word. Methodical, organized, orderly, well ordered, planned, systematized, regular, routine, standardized, standard, formal, logical, cohesive. Nigga, if you are in Nigerian system, you don't need to do all that. Just go there and take it. What the fuck? You don't need to be logical about stealing or plan or what. No, what are you talking? I mean, nobody in Nigeria, me and you there. Exactly. System means that the corruption is diffused through the system. And I'm saying in the Nigeria context, no. No. You don't have to work that hard. Like what you are saying is that to be corrupt or to steal from the Nigerian post, even though good laws will not be the same, that you have to be very, very you have to be very thorough. No, 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 motherfucker. Get take that money and if you get arrested, give them all the money and it's over. There is nothing systematic about that. You don't even have to work with any goddamn person to steal. I understand what you mean. It's not that hard. It's not that difficult. So if my grandmother in the village understand how money they miss, how Ghana must go, they work out body life. What's systematic about that? Eh? So, my brother, I get what you are saying, right? That is what they want. That is how that's where they are graduating to, right? That's where we are moving to, right? To get into that, make it no day obvious. Something systematic is that you take time to actually trace how it happened, right? That you have to work, you have to invest a lot of resources. No, in the Nigeria context, you don't have to do that. Matter of fact, if you just call anybody public official and say you steal so things, you can literally go prove am without going 1, 2, 3. So I get what you are saying. That how to stay, what's the why you use that word systematic. I understand what that kind of structure is, but in Nigeria, not be like that. Just once they give you money, chop am. Nothing, no, like whatever it is, like it could literally. When governors they come up for us of government house, people they carry car physically. Is that system? What system do they need? Don't drive. You enter government and drive your car, drive and go out, and that's it. Don't bring and come back. That's no system. I mean, if not system, I mean, I understand some of this crime that these guys they commit, that they do them in a way to make. I get there's that part, but yeah, I don't think. We have gotten to that point whereby an average Nigerian has to crack his brain to see how one error got missing, to know why this road is not working. Then give this road to the chairman of my local government. I be the organ of my local government. I ain't use the money tie road we go in house or he chop the money. Ain't no systematic about that. He go tell you say I do your worst. You can't so no, you don't know crap what you are talking about. Now you know understand what you are talking about. If you see the things how things say they work for Nigeria is that complicated. Now you are kind of you are not up to the way they reason never reach that level. So I get it. No, they put you where you there for for you don't put the stage where you there for life, they compare some other person. If the way corruption they go for Nigeria is too complicated for you to actually comprehend and you feel that is the system, okay. But don't apply to everybody. You understand? I don't work for the system before. Don't forget say I was in Nigerian outlet. I see how money they go give secretary money, you carry and go buy a car. They go carry our car also go to the camp. They go from hotel to camp. They use a new taxi for Abuja. That's not systematic, but to you it is. So where me and you they come from is different. I'm an insider too, in case you don't know. So I get you. It's too complicated for you to grasp. So another way for you to absorb yourself of that or to feel good about it, say, oh, it's systematic. Okay. So say I got it. Oh, I don't forget say I live in a country whereby when you talk of corruption, stealing, whatever, is embedded in system. So I understand what corruption is when it comes to system. When everybody say, oh, Nancy Pelosi has traded stock to the point that is questionable. Good luck. Go to the rabbit hole to see how you could figure it out, right? Even if you could figure it out, you have to involve a lot of thinking time, money, and resources. That's a corruptive system that embedded in the system. But in the Nigerian case, no. So, Olawale, now where you know rich, now some other people start. Let me go back to what Shakaru is saying. So Shakaru, who had an organization that's 99% of the time they are aligned with the government that bear the policy, is not saying that it's not something good. Anyway, maybe talking out of experience is also one way of actually bringing your point home. Why, maybe name dropping for name dropping sake. Nah, no be name the corruption that you're talking about, no be name they do am. I be the system you're talking about, no be human being build am. Eh? Olawale, if I say you thief, I no put your name. How people go say no say na you thief? Huh? Answer me. Name dropping. You don't hear that kind of grammar. You don't even know how to use them. So I'm dropping them because to tell that I know what I'm talking about. It's not for you to say that lie. No be this name when I drop. No be say that this do am. No be the name do am. Na the back do am. Because that's in your. I'm not sure say if you could have reached that level because the law has not applied in Nigeria yet. In America, that even corporations have their own identity like that of a human. I don't know if you understand that. Corporations are treated in the constitution like the same thing, like the right that you have. So again, even that of America is not that systematic like that anymore. You should know if you understand how the system was built. Anyway, make I listen to better people. Oyewole, you are in the wrong place. I know just here to moderate conversation. Anyway, now the guy say pathway to progress. Let me see his pathway to progress. To tackle youth unemployment, Nigeria must adopt a multifaceted approach. Grammar everywhere, grammar everywhere. Let's see. Job creation initiative. Invest in industries such as technology, agriculture, and manufacturing that can absorb a large workforce. After you yourself pointed out that now due to insecurity make the agricultural production in North is going obsolete. But you see, I don't understand. And your first solution is not to tackle the security so that farmer can go back. It's to make them invest in agriculture. If you invest in agriculture, in what way? Or you're tackling the security part of investing in agriculture. I won't be surprised if you see like that, but that's dumb. Anyway, is there security improvement? Enforcing security, particularly in rural areas, to enable agricultural activities to thrive. Isn't that what's supposed to come first? Overall landscape, not even just the rural area, the security should be number one issue. But do we really have insecurity issue in Nigeria? Of course, people like Adewale who believe in system will say yes. I don't think we really have that kind of. These are state-sponsored, state-enabling activities that classified as insecurity, right? If it's been going on for almost a decade or more than a decade, then that's no longer insecure. That's the government shenanigan going on up there. Access to finance. Introduce accessible loan scheme for youth entrepreneur without the need for excessive collateral. People where they collect loan, they give loan to. We'll see how that goes. Well, it's coming. They've already approved money for that kind of shenanigan. If it's going to be applied that way. Merit-based system. Ooh, that's a conversation the Nigeria you don't want to have. Oh. They can glorify it, they can be mad about it, but I don't think they really want to tackle it because it's systematic, according to Olawale. When they carry your friend, your neighbor, say, man, because of who you know already, he said it's systematic. Keep saying it's systematic. Well, the way of 60 years into the existence of Nigeria, some people can still go into admission by getting 20%, 80% less than you. Keep saying it's systematic. Keep deceiving yourself. When Bangladesh take to the streets, they're not talking as systematic. They didn't approach the issue systematic. They went straight on. Say, man, you must fucking go. This is what we want. Get it done. Ain't nothing systematic about it. Keep people that they use grammar, they deceive on ourselves. It's systematic. Everything you do for your front, merit-based system. Let me see. Address corruption in the job creation. What the fuck is job creation in the allocation? That's not corrupt. That's like broad daylight robbery. When I say I won't employ you unless you are this, this one no be. Now America they disguise in the name of identity, in the name of African American, Jewish American. No, no, no. In Nigeria, fuck you. You are not be Hausa man. You not be Yoruba man. This office you are not entitled to. And no, that's not systematic. I call your house, slap you. You tell me say that's systematic. What if I can't employ somebody somewhere where they go trick you, come and go charge you, where they can do? What would you call that? Anyway, strengthen advocacy, empowering independent youth organization and civil society advocate for meaningful policy change. I don't understand. The people that your advocacy is going to be focused on in terms of criticizing their inadequacy over doing systematic corruption according to Wale, you are not asking them to empower you. I don't get it, man. So if they empower you, part of the empowerment is to tell you how to advocate and what to advocate for. Anyway, the way forward, youth unemployment in Nigeria is a thinking time bomb, but it can be diffused with decisive action, not systematic action, by addressing the root cause of the joblessness and unemployment and implementing targeted solutions. All these are still grammar. It coincides. Go right there to it. Nigeria can transform the youth population into a powerful driver of economic growth and social stability. Only if we start seeing things as systematic and just get hold on and destroy it if it need to be destroyed and build another one if that's what it's going to take. So 2 days ago, we are making case for trying to see where Konkoso and Donald Duke and Obasanjo was coming from, but largely that conversation was overshadowed by Paul impute, bringing in Goodluck Jonathan too. And I'm glad we dealt with it decisively. Then yesterday we talked about PDP, how 25 years on, they are still operating the same policy in times that the policy is geared towards the top which is largely dominated by octogenarians. A situation whereby we have 60% of Nigerians living who are under 25 according to UN. So I don't get it. So we talked about that a brief, and you see what is how they're going to pull it off with OB also as a caveat. What is his role in that? How is it going forward? So today we bring to you why I keep saying that either the bill is going to pass or Tinubu has no fear in terms of 2027. And the reason I said that is exactly what the IMF just did. Now, only person where they perform according to the expectation can be granted loan. Now, only person where they perform according to their expectation can be empowered. Now, only person where they perform according to the expectation can be supported to go for to continue with that policy. And as far as I'm concerned, Bola Tinubu is doing exceptionally well in that regard. So to see how he's going to be taken out of power come 2027, unless it's very systematic that I cannot see according to Olawale, since everything is systematic. So in order for to win, he has to be systematic. In order for him to lose, he has to be systematic too. Ladies and gentlemen, go to like, share, and subscribe. And make us see how many more minutes I have to stick around before I join the Levaru team struggle. Crazy, man. These men know, men know how to run things. They know how to deal with our attention, not to make us focus on rubbish.
You are watching feudalism being institutionalized in broad daylight. Feudalism thrives on impunity. It does not thrive on the rule of law. That is what you are seeing institutionalized. Law does not matter and cannot and must not matter if feudalism must reign. And that is what has happened. What all the people who have helped to institutionalize this madness would have found is that they have helped to promote the reign of evil. Because if this evil is condoned in relation to one, it is institutionalized in relation to all.
Oh, I know best. Bola Tinubu used Bolivar and transform cash right in front of us. We think that's systematic. Look at refresh in my memory that my governor is doing well.
One of the greatest selling points of Edo as a state is our very rich cultural heritage. The Benin Empire is domiciled in the state. And it's unfortunate that for the past 8 years, we have had a governor who has not leveraged on this historical reality. Rather, his actions have tended to create division and disrespect. In Senator Monday Okpebolo, we have a young man who appreciates tradition, who appreciates that in his state we have an Oba whose reign dates back to decades and centuries. And he has shown so much respect to our Oba. And that is why for many of us, we also believe that he deserves our respect. A governor who has divided our states by disrespect for tradition cannot be the kind of governor that will be suggesting to us who will succeed him. Edo State needs a governor that understands the tradition of our people, that respects traditional institutions, because we are nothing without our heritage. We want a governor that will continue in that mode, that will show respect, that will be able to communicate with our people. Not a governor who can be fluent in other languages, but in our own languages cannot speak the language. That's an insult to us as a people. That is why we take pride in the nativity of our candidates. When people want to deride him, we're happy, because we see him as an Edo man. And Edo men have nothing to be ashamed about. We have a rich culture. And in the new government we are bringing to pass, we are hoping that that culture can become the beginning of a new renaissance, can be a springboard to bring our people, even in the diaspora, to come back home with joy and invest in the upliftment of our state and kingdom. Our candidate is loyal to the Benin people, is loyal to the palace. And we pray that God will continue to keep our Oba. Oba Atokpe is
Just before we won the elections and got sworn into office, no thanks to the NBA conference in this same Lagos, in this same venue, I pinned down and trended the internet for almost a month for wearing sneakers to your... I thought that will be the last time I will be invited or I will speak at your conference. However, it is revealing to see that wearing sneakers or not is not a requisition to be at NBA events. Actually, I was the hottest revelation. I could remember the famous Nigerian author, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. When we were holding the conversation up here, she was busy taking my pictures, and I was wearing my Mango Park suit. I had to retrieve my...
So, the Nigerian Senate has taken a significant step towards reclaiming the national monetary independence by pushing for a ban on the use of foreign currency for payment and transaction within the country. Really? All right. It's interesting. Let's see. Let's see what they are up to, and if they can pull it off. The proposed bill seeks to ensure that all forms of payments, including salary, export proceeds, and other financial transactions, are conducted exclusively in naira. Salaries. The move is aimed at curbing the dominance of foreign currency in Nigeria. Boosting confidence in local currency and promoting economic stability. Title: A bill for an act to alter the Central Bank of Nigeria Act of 2007, number 7, to prohibit the use of foreign currency for remuneration and for other related matters. The legislation is sponsored by Senator Ned Munir Wako, Chairman of the Senate Committee on Reparation and Representation. Reparation and representation. Are you guys behind the reparation of our artifacts? If that's the case, hold on first. Before I go, I'll go ahead on. Senator Wako expressed concern that the president use of the dollar pound sterling, that the persistent use of the dollar pound sterling and other foreign currency in Nigeria domestic transaction is eroding the value of naira and transaction economic independence. First of all, I think let's start with him. He is a billionaire as far as I'm concerned. And that time, anytime when they want to classify as a billionaire, they only use in naira time. They say, oh, naira will call 10 billion, $12, whatever. I think we should start with that and see if we begin to address people like him in terms of our Nigerian currency, if it's not even going to be alarming. This is not trillions of dollars, man, those motherfuckers worth. Of naira, my bad. He described this trend as a colonial handover. that continue to limit the national financial sovereignty. I lie. I know they produce jack. That's why our current is shitty. Key provision of the bill. The proposed legislation outlines several critical measures aimed at strengthening the naira and fostering economic independence. Monetary use of naira for salaries and payments. All workers, including expatriates, will be paid exclusively in naira, abolishing the payment of salaries in foreign currency. That'll be interesting. As I said, my see how they'll take pull off. Export payments in Nigeria. Payments for crude oil and other export must be made in naira. This policy is expected to increase demand for currency as international buyer will be required to purchase naira for trade with Nigeria. Oh my God, these people, these people. It's a good idea. I'm laughing because I just see, they just, I don't know, they just speak grammar. Ah, anyway, we are not in a position to actually even make that. It's not in our, means that it's in our interest to every spirit that is mentioning about that follow the bill is in order. But we're in position to actually, because they talk like that, yeah. We're not. We know now we dey even sell our oil. I don't think that I don't believe that we dey sell our oil. We are believing that it's systematic according according to Adewale. It's systematic. Stealing our oil and buying and blind and then they sell like don't give I'm gonna take this one, I'm gonna manage this one for this month, this week. Anyway, ban on informal currency market. The bill seeks to eliminate informal currency market that promote unethical practice such as round stripping bank by bank, therapy thereby stabilizing naira formal financial system. That I don't understand. I was thinking you wanted to hear about borrow the change. Access to loan and low interest rates. Bank will be mandated to provide loan at affordable rates, encouraging industrialization, supporting small business, and stimulate local. I don't understand. Let me read it out again to see if I will understand. Access to loan at lower interest rates. Bank will be mandated to provide loan at affordable rates. What is that affordable rate? Now, see, this is the grammar that I'm talking about. Like 90% can be affordable rate. I mean, who's determine the affordability? If you are going to mandate some people, I mean, what are you going? Are you really going to listen to us to tell you the rate that we really want? Because that's the job that we're supposed to do. Come listen to the people and say, okay, this is what we can actually afford, and you mandated that. But as far as I'm concerned, since it's not going to be that Mr. Lawal is systematic. But that is since it's not going to be that, it's just going to be whatever the fuck they want, they tell the banks to do. If that is even possible, anyway. But anyway, it's a bill. So let's see how they will pull it off, as I earlier said. Supporting small scale business and stimulating local production. It's a good thing. It's a good way to conclude. We'll see. Holding of foreign reserve domestically. Okay, this is where it's becoming interesting. The bill propose, okay, that Nigerian foreign reserve be stored within the country, thereby reducing exposure to external economic vulnerability and enhancing finance self resilience. I like this. I like the spirit. I like the pretense. I like the I like the propaganda. I like the The dream, right? I like that. It sounds very romantic. Very, very romantic. Our foreign reserve should no longer be in what? New York? I be in Swiss. It should be moved to Lagos. Or when I come become president, I move that shit to Asoso. Isn't that incredible dream, huh? Anyway, don't mind me. I just the reason like a layman, which I am. So sounds very sweet. It sounds fall into that dream that I have that defines freedom. So when I say we are not free, that's the shit I'm talking about. We don't control shit. Even the one foreign reserve, I will get ammo, but it's called foreign reserve, which is stored in foreign land. But the same will bring and come back. Again, let me see how they will pull it off. So, thereby reducing exposure to external economic vulnerability and enhancing financial self-resilience. Motherfucker, they give you loan every day. You depend on their loan to survive. How the fuck do you want to be to reducing exposure? Like, what the fuck you talking about? Even as I speak, if I go deep into your house, I will see that you all your property they are external. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Say these people, it's I don't know. It's a dream, as I said. So, man, Unveils. But like reducing vulnerability. So you know you all are vulnerable. Now see they go collect loan. Now they depend on their loan. Depend on their telecommunication to communicate. Depend on their engineering to move around. Depend on their agriculture proposal to chop. Eh? They say make you no smoke, you no go smoke. If they say this money where you do where you want, so this is where you must spend them. All those things, some motherfuckers still couldn't get it that we ain't free people. It just behooves me. So when we say things like that, this is a bill, oh, this is a bill. This is our collective reasoning. That's the fun part because this is coming from who House of Representatives. So that's anything that is agreed upon in this House of Representatives means that that is what the people agreed on. That is the center. The whole idea of democracy is centered on that representation. Since that's what we practice, right? This presidential system is presentation. The whatever they are practicing in London, in Britain, right? That's that. So since the days of Greek, when this representative democracy was invented, it's centered around House of Representatives to bring it to today. So anything that is agreed on the National House of Assembly means that me, you, doesn't matter where the fuck you are as a Nigerian, that's what you sign up on. So now collectively, we have agreed that we are not free. So we have now saying in order for to be getting close to that freedom, reduce our vulnerability, we have to say, come on, we'll bring our foreign reserve back. But that's a dream. But when we reach to practicalize that, we will say, I beg, Mona give us money. Mote survive. Oh, I say, okay, I'll give you money, I'll give you this, but this is where you must put it to. Don't go and create job for people to no put it those children who they never born, they deserve to be healthy as soon as they're born. Focus on them, right? So I don't understand how it works. I don't how like as in it makes so perfect sense once you just see them on the surface when they are dishing it out. But if you are privileged to they hit Igbo every now and then, you will just say, man, this is just crap. Anyway, I continue. The bill also include reinforcing the naira as the primary currency. Reinforcing. Okay. The naira will become the exclusive currency for all domestic transactions, ensuring its dominance in Nigeria's financial operation. Again, let's see how they'll pull it off. Voluntary conversions of domiciliary account. Hmm. Voluntarily. So you cannot, at the moment, if you have a, those one will get domiciliary account. So you can, oh, make I read with them in first. Holders of the domiciliary accounts will have the options to convert their balance into Naira voluntary. So at this point, you don't get choice. Once you sign up, man, for life. Is that what it is? That's crazy, though. If you have a domiciliary account, you can, you, what are the steps? I really want to know what you will need to do to turn it to. Shit, crazy, huh? All right. Senator Nwoko assured that as the Naira volume strengthen, the need for individuals to hold foreign currency will naturally decline. So this is what this is about. Nigga, nobody wants to even hold money. Everything is going electronically. Like, where are these people? Where are they from? This man a billionaire, all the money they in billions. Like, so I don't. I understand. It's a some you are proposing it. Yeah, it's okay. I get it. But it's just the effrontery, man. The boldness to just say fuck all of y'all. This is what we are going to do, or this is what we are going to pretend we are going to do. Because I don't understand. So I mean, how many people say even get their money in dollars? Let's even face it. In it, like, is it up to 0.5% of Nigerians? Because people get money. Like, how many people who understand the dollar self is actually currency? Like, literally, say if you get some part of the country that you go, you say dollar, you give them dollar, and they say fuck, I don't want it. I don't because they don't understand. So the idea that I just fucking don't get it. It behooves me because this now we they talk. This is quote unquote we. This is coming from a member of our oh now senator said, oh fuck me man. Anyway, the whole point is that it's a senator that's making this proposal. So I understand where he's speaking for. He's not speaking for us. That's why I earlier said that anything that is agreed on in the House of Representatives, now we they talk. So it's not that I lost my thought or I'm being stupid. I decided to come like that. This is where I'm going. I start from here, but I start from here, right? But now you can see it. So he's a senator. This is why I think it was Tunanja. Why should I be surprised? Tunanja. When Tunanja they praise Wiki for scolding that's good. What try to disrespect the honorable senator Rita Tigingibe. What was say? What have you done for your people? Have you put water for your people? As I told Nanja, I asked her just one question. I was on comment section. What will be the job of House of Lords in Britain? House of Lords, just as in name, yes, if they be an exclusive set of people that represent exclusive constituency, the fucking wage. So that's when we are talking about representation of the democracy that we have it. Now, that is where you have to see the progression from that. I think it was. See, these days, these days, most of the people why they challenge, I think my mind is in the right place. Who the fuck was talking about um, church? Right? I forget the contents that he put it. I think he's I remember this guy name. It's from my state too, I think. I like the way he raised it. But he got this one totally wrong when they're talking about this democracy representative, and I make him understand the church used to be, I mean, the power. Now, okay, I think I remember the idea of presidential represent system of representation started with first challenging the the representative democracy that the British people were practicing, which is power was largely concentrated. I use my word as I say was because this what give birth to American system of democracy, right? During when as I said earlier on, because this thing progresses from the Greek who founded democracy. But, you people can prove me wrong. I think this. So by the time we get to the British, which pretty much late 17th century to 18th, they dominated pretty much the whole 18th century before the crash. American crashed them. The system of representatives they were practicing then concentrate power in the Church of England. I think they are in the news today. They are calling for their current leader to go. There's an allegation that they cannot be investigated under me or something. Those who live in British should get in contact with this, come in contact with this video. You guys just immediately Google today's date, time, and you get what I'm saying. That there's a still controversy within the leadership of the Church of England. Now, so the power were largely in the hands of what the church and pretty much the state. So when the Americans decided to say, you know what, fuck this shit, right? We are going to design our way as what represent democracy in which the power is derived from the people, rather from the church, the states, and the rich in the society, right? So the Americans, after getting their independence, they say, you know what, hell fucking no, there's no way we will sit down for one place, one fucking in the name of saying a king, eh? Could they determine how things goes and just the few and then those who happen to be in government, which predominantly not them, their relative in the name of military. They're like, no, that shit ain't gonna happen anymore. We that have land property, we get more money to deserve to have a say on how shit work. Talk my words, we that have power, because if you need to understand why I say we that have power, because that's not how it's stated in the Constitution of America or the Declaration of Independence. I said that because when they get in their independence, the social democracy that they have today, guess what? Ordinary people don't have the right to vote. Women, fuck you. Your mother, your sister, my auntie, fuck you. You cannot vote. Fucking you now, you're a slave self. Shut up. You don't even count. You have a fucking human being. Every other person, fuck you. Only those who have property, only the rich has the right to be part of the newfound representative. So the House of Lords that we are seeing today is still centered around those elites in the society. The Senate House in America also represents exclusive clubs of the elites. That's why now, like 6 years, then they did it before they be re-elected again. While as of representative, now what? 2 years. So House of what I'm trying to say here is that when Tunanja was on his ass in his feelings talking about why that wicked challenge the TQB for what he has done for his constituency, you don't do this. It is not her job to do nothing. It's not represent. She represents exclusive individuals and corporations within a constituency. It is the job of House of Representatives to speak for what Tunanja is asking of, or Wiki is asking of Kingibe. So here, even here too in America, the Senate House of Government is not about the people; it's about the exclusive club. So that's why you cannot do jack. I, your money not really mean anything to know if you actually want to have a little bit of knowledge of what I'm talking about. Trump not they put up a cabinet, right? Uh, Elon Musk today is one of the most influential women being on the planet Earth. by every fucking standard, right? Especially with what they just pull off. Is that influential? But it so has its limit. What who he won for Senate majority could not have his way. And like 7 votes that the person gets. That's to tell you how exclusive the House of Representatives Senate House is. So when I say so now, House of Lord, you need to understand their role. The same is pretty much in tandem with our senator. So when if this bill is coming from Senator Ned Nweke that everybody should be spending dollar, now you should understand why in go that route because now only if you read it. 80% of Nigeria would not understand what the fuck he's talking about. Like we all believe and know that Naira is the only legal tender currency. Unless you're now privileged enough to be in that exclusive club of the 20% of the elites who live in the cities, who even understand what we talk about here and our own media system, right? Every other person don't know. So now, I'm not going to blame him for this coming from him because he's speaking for his class. So it says streamlining access to foreign exchange. Access to foreign exchange for essential purposes such as travel and education will be made more accessible through banking reform. Traveler will still be able to access basic travel allowance (BTCA) and other forex needed through regulation. Again, it's as he's speaking to his class. Many people get money they send they do this kind, live this kind of lifestyle, right? They use foreign exchange for travel. How many people they travel? Yeah, how many people they send kids for foreign schools and they have to give them money and that. So I get it. Economic impact and global comparison. Senator Nwoko drew inspiration from Morocco financial system, where the Moroccan dirham, Dirham has maintained stability against major global currency for over 35 years. I'm pretty sure not be all this thing with this man it also made that currency strong. If you are going to Moroccan economy, I will not be surprised if up to 45% of their earning they are from their manufacturing industry, which we don't even have. He credited his success to Moroccans. Now they married from these people. How bro, man. How, I don't forget the one of your wife now from Moroccan. I've been like a vet. No, now my uncle go to vet now. So he credited the Moroccan success to Moroccan strict policy of using a
I don't even know say my other gadgets died. So merci. Don't 2 hours. I won't go. I will join the Dr. Damages. So we have like an hour. So what do I do? Should I shut it off or am I gonna continue to analyze our Moroccan prince? Prince Uweko Bill, why they talk to in class? Huh? Because my battery is also it's also going. Let's call it off and I will be I don't know, make I send the let me be make a set of ma drop the link. See here is a link on is a link about Parotimi. What I think is due to appear in court. That link is to an event that will be happening in the next 1 hour 45 minutes about Dele Farotimi's ordeal. So I think Showore, Dr. Fagbemi, and the Dele Farotimi's lawyer will be pretty much addressing the public via Zoom on what next. You know what is expected of us collectively, individually, and all that kind of good stuff. So in order for to get Dele Farotimi out, so if you are interested in that kind of dialogue, conversation, and just to know what I mean, if there's any reason why you should try to be there to be part of the event by either just listening, watching, or conversation. I don't know how it's going to be mode of how the conversation is going to go. But why, if there's any reason why you should be there, is for you to know what next, what is actually going on in the legal, because there's a lot of things now. There's a lot of everybody that's come out they talk now. They're against, there's just so much conversation. It's taking a political dimension, as I earlier said, when these whole things start. So if you want to get the into to like what's actually going on, the next move, his spirit, where his heart, what's the whatever it is, try and be there because of that. But if you can, I promise to be here as soon as the event finish to come and give you the gist. So until then, let me put my gadgets to charge and teach out. Thank you for your being here. Thank you, Oluwole. I like your agree and disagreeing. George Belesconi and Righteous Man. I know you promised to be back, and I promised to be here till that time, but gotta go. But I'll be back. I will be back before the dawn of the day. It's just 12 years. We joining the event in 2 hours too, and I don't know how long it's gonna last. But as soon as it's up, I'll wait here. So until then, like, share, and subscribe. Hey, Joe. Please, as you go out, as you freaking go out, I see 7 people still here fucking with me. So fucking click the like button and you share, you subscribe. I teach out.